Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, October 4th. I'm Sonia Shrivastava. Glad to have you with us. Well, the presidential candidates are still in Colorado one day after the first debate of the 2012 campaign. President Obama and Governor Mitt Romney went head-to-head last night on domestic policy issues. So what are political pundits and voters saying about it today? Rochelle Metzger has more from the University of Maryland, College Park.
Millions of Americans tuned in last night to watch the first presidential debate. And this morning, the spin doctors on both sides are spinning and the fact checkers are running their numbers. So was it game-changing? What did voters think? What were some of the highs and the lows? We're here on the campus of the University of Maryland, where we asked a professor of public policy to break it down for us. Live from the University of Denver, it's the 2012 presidential debate starring President Barack Obama and GOP nominee Mitt Romney.
Now, Governor Romney's proposal that he's been promoting for 18 months calls for a $5 trillion tax cut on top of $2 trillion of additional spending for our military.
Let's just stay on taxes for a moment here.
Well, but
what is the difference?
virtually everything he just said about my tax plan is inaccurate.
All right,
so if the tax plan he described were a tax plan I was asked to support, I'd say absolutely not. I'm not looking for a $5 trillion tax cut.
Moderated by PBS's Jim Lair, the candidates spent 90 minutes sparring over domestic policy issues as they tried to win over undecided voters like Khalil Pettis.
I want to watch all the debates. I haven't made up my mind yet, but I will say that watching that has made me lean to the right a little more because I think Mitt Romney held his ground a little better. But again, as I said, I haven't made my final decision yet, so I'll be interested to watching the other debates as well.
I was looking for more substance instead of them just quoting hundreds of millions of dollars off the hand and then denying that that was their plan all along.
So who stole the show? Professor of Public Policy Chris Foreman.
The president did seem a little bit restrained. Perhaps he was trying to be presidential. Perhaps the strategy was to present himself in a way so that they could pick off a few more undecided voters.
Political pundits say the night belonged to Romney, who seemed to find his voice, putting the usually cool and confident Obama on the defensive.
He has everything that I always teach my students you need in a candidate. He has money, he has organization, he has a message, and he has experience. And all of that was on display.
The president received mixed reviews from voters we spoke to.
Barack Obama seemed kind of timid. I mean, I noticed he always was looking down when Mitt Romney was speaking. I thought that was kind of strange.
Romney seems to be improving and getting more specific on his actual tax plans, and he seems to be fighting Obama's accusation that he's not doing anything for the middle class. However, I still see Obama's overall positions trumping his slight weak response to Romney's attack.
Professor Foreman says while most debates carry little weight, in close elections like the one this November, they can shift momentum.
It was game-changing in the sense that people perceive and Romney now to be what I think he always was, which is a more formidable candidate than they thought he was. The main advantage, I think, or the main shift, I think, is Democrats now realize that they are in a real race with a real, solid, experienced candidate.
Ultimately, the debate alone was not enough to sway or change the minds of voters we spoke to. With less than 5 weeks to go before Election Day, the candidates will have 2 more 90-minute sessions to square off face-to-face on the issues before voters head to the polls. In College Park, I'm Rochelle Metzger, CTV News.
And no lack of opinion there. The next debate will be Tuesday, October 16th at 9 p.m. on the campus of Hofstra University in New York. The town hall format will include questions from undecided voters on foreign and domestic policy. Well, 2 Prince George's law enforcement officials are facing accusations of brutality after an incident with a D.C. cop. According to court documents, Metropolitan Police Officer Richard Merritt was outside a strip club in Fairmont Heights when 2 county officers allegedly jumped on his back and punched him several times in the face. The fight stopped when the cops saw Merritt's police badge. He was cited for an open alcohol container and resisting arrest. On Wednesday, Merritt filed a $3 million lawsuit against the Prince George's Police Department. Meanwhile, a Prince George's police officer is off the hook on drinking and driving charges. Daniel Gonzalez crashed his marked cop car in Bladensburg while off duty in May. The judge said there wasn't enough evidence that Gonzalez was actually the one driving, even though a tow truck driver told the court he saw the officer getting out on the driver's side. Gonzalez remains on administrative leave, and we're told his police powers remain suspended. Well, prosecutors dropped charges against a Mount Rainier man accused of severely beating a 72-year-old man with a baseball bat. Investigators no longer believe that 22-year-old Justin Strong was responsible for the September 15th attack in Colmar Manor. Even though the victim picked the man's photo out of a lineup, police instead say 20-year-old Edwin Gonzalez of Colmar Manor is responsible for the brutal beating. Gonzalez is accused of attempting to rob the elderly man and then beating him with a baseball bat while he was waiting at a bus stop on Bladensburg Road. Gonzalez was arrested and charged with attempted first-degree murder on September 29th, the same day Strong was released from jail. Well, visiting the dentist, it's not a favorite activity for a lot of us, but this month, 50,000 youngsters are getting lessons on flossing their pearly whites for free. It's all part of CVS's Project Health campaign. Doors were opened today at the Beltsville location for kids and parents to take advantage of the free checkups. A study in last month's American Journal of Public Health says when kids don't take care of their teeth, they do worse in school. By bringing screenings to the community at no cost, the idea is to level the playing field for low-income families.
Dental assistant here who is going through this session and is teaching everyone as how to brush and how to floss. People should come here and take advantage of this event.
They said that there would be over $100 worth of health screening free, so it sounded like a good deal. Always good to check on your health.
Thank you.
And if you've got a kid in school or want to check up for yourself, you can log on to cvs.com/Project Health for a list of locations. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.